All right, it is just another Manic Monday. Of course, I'm recording this on a Saturday evening, but as we are watching it, because I'm watching it with you, it is Monday at lunchtime, noon Eastern, on Manic Monday. I've unofficially got a schedule all made up for Manic Monday, since this seems to be fairly popular, I guess for now at least, through the first 2 weeks. So this week, May the 20th, we are playing a game from May 20th, 1978, Pittsburgh at Montreal on APBA. And then, of course, the first game last week was on Status Pro. Next week, we'll be going to Payoff Pitch, Memorial Day special. It'll be from Six Stadium, S-I-C-K-S, Six Stadium in Seattle, 1969. Baltimore Orioles visiting the Seattle Pilots. And it was actually played May 26, 1969, because Memorial Day fell on that day in 1969. Of course, we'll be live streaming it, or not live streaming it, but premiering it on our Memorial Day, May 27th. After that, we switch over to replay baseball. It'll be an old-fashioned rivalry, the Dodgers and the Reds, from June 3rd, 1980. That will, of course, premiere on Monday, June 3rd. On Monday, June 10th, we switch over to History Maker Baseball, 1987 style. White Sox against the A's. La Russa gets to manage against his old team. Switching to June 17th, Monday, June 17th, we'll be at Inside Pitch. It's the San Francisco Giants visiting the city of brotherly love, taking on the Phillies. And on June 24th, another Monday, we'll be on the computer. Action PC Baseball. It'll be the St. Louis Cardinals 2014 style against the Colorado Rockies. All right. Going back to Status Pro, we've gone full circle. We'll come back to Status Pro on July the 1st, which is another Monday. And we're doing 2016 Cleveland at Toronto. Then July 8th, we're back to APBA, and it's going to be the 1941 All-Star Game, because the All-Star Game was played on July 8th, 1941. So we're going to have the All-Star Game using APBA, the 1941 season, the famous All-Star Game where Ted Williams hit that walk-off home run. Then on July 15th, another Monday, of course, we'll be back to Payoff Pitch, 2018 style. Milwaukee is at Pittsburgh. Then we shift over July 22nd to replay baseball, and a game from the prior season, July 22nd, Detroit at Minnesota. On July 29th, we go back to History Maker Baseball, 1967 style, St. Louis Cardinals against the Atlanta Braves. August 5th, another Monday, we go back to Inside Pitch, 1984 style. Texas Rangers will be at Fenway to take on the Red Sox. On August 12th, another Monday, of course, so we'll be back to Action PC Baseball. And this time we'll be going back to the city of brotherly love, 1993. That famous team for the Phillies with all the characters of John Kruk and Mitch Williams, Wild Thing Williams, Darren Dalton, and all that bunch. The long-haired bunch will be taking on the Expos, August 12th, 1993, replay of that. And then August 19th, we're back to Status Pro again. It is 2015, the New York Mets interleague game against the Orioles, played on Monday, August 19th for us, but it was played August 19th, 2015 for the Orioles. I don't know what day of the week that was. Then we go back to APBA, and we're going to the Astrodome, 1986 style, Chicago Cubs and the Houston Astros. Then we make it to Labor Day, and it was September 2nd in our world, but on Labor Day 1979, it was September 3rd. We're going to Yankee Stadium, Red Sox against the Yankees. And on September 9th, another Monday, it'll be the Pirates at the Phillies using Replay Baseball 1980, World Series champion Phillies. Then in September 16th, it'll be Boston at Baltimore using History Maker Baseball 1977 style. Then at September 23rd, Inside Pitch, it'll be the Milwaukee Brewers at the Toronto Blue Jays, September 23rd, 1984. And then Action PC will finish us off, September 30th, 1991, Atlanta Braves at the Cincinnati Reds. So that is the unofficial schedule for all of Manic Mondays. Of course, that is subject to change. If another game I run into, or if I decide another game is more maybe to people's likings, we will do that. That's just an early scan. I went through all the games that I have for the different board games and Action PC, and picked out what I thought were the best games for that particular Monday or that particular day of the week, day of the month that I'm going to be replaying, because I want to replay the exact day that we're viewing it. All right, so without further ado, let's get on to this APBA. It is 1978, Pittsburgh at Montreal. It'll be Bert Beholm, Bly Levin for the Pirates against Wayne Twitchell for the Expos. And we're going to be using the Merino boards. These will be off camera because I don't have enough room to show everything. But I will be using the Merino boards and using the Master Game symbols. And we'll also be using Master Game stealing symbols. We get this, get the old runner steal chance table. So we'll see how that goes. And let's look at our starting lineups. First, for the visiting Pittsburgh Pirates of 1978, I believe Chuck Tanner was still the manager, or was managing in 78. I think Dick Williams was still managing the Expos in 78, but don't quote me on it because I don't know. I don't have it in front of me. All right, leading things off. So get this, put it right so you can see it without the glare on there. All right, leading off will be shortstop Frank Tavares. Batting second and playing center field is Omar Moreno. Batting third is the Cobra, Dave Parker. He's in right field. Batting cleanup will be the left fielder John Milner. Hitting fifth is Pops, Willie Stargell. He'll be playing first base. Hitting sixth is Rennie Stennett. He will be batting in the sixth position, playing second base. Ed Ott, one of the shorter names in baseball, will be catching and batting seventh. Phil Scrap Iron Garner will be playing third base and hitting eighth. And in batting ninth is Bert Beholm, Bly Levin. Bly Levin has a rating of 13 on his master symbol, along with an X and a Z. And now we'll look at the lineup for the Expos. The Crow, Warren Cromartie, will lead things off and play left field. Dave Cash will be playing second base and hitting second. The Hawk, Andre Dawson, will be in center field hitting third. Gary Carter, the Kid, will bat cleanup and catch. Ellis Valentine's in right field. He will hit fifth. Tony Perez is at first. He will hit sixth. Wayne Garrett, much traveled Wayne Garrett, former Met, will be playing third base and hitting seventh, giving Larry Parrish the day off for some reason. Chris Spire, shortstop, will hit in the number 8 position. And batting ninth will be Wayne Twitchell. He is a number 4 on his Master Game symbol with a Y and a W. So looks like a mismatch possibly early on. We'll see. Get this game going. And I also stole some little figurines from an older baseball game that I have. So what I'm going to try to do, since you can kind of see the score sheet, so you can kind of see the what's going on with that. But with the people on base, I've got these little base runners, so I'm going to put those guys out there as people get on base. So if we get the bases loaded, it'll look like this. So we'll see how that goes. Maybe that'll help people that are watching, or maybe tune in midstream or whatever to catch the game situation and so forth. Right now, it'll be Frank Tavares, shortstop, leading things off for the Buccos. 62 is a 13, and he's going to strike out. So that's master or the basic version. Doesn't matter. You're going to strike out on a 13. That is universal APBA. So there's one away for Omar Moreno. 32 from Moreno is a 26. And if we look in the book, a 26 is a 4-3 ground out. So it's a ground out to the second baseman Cash, who was money on that play. And there's 2 away for the Cobra, Dave Parker. So Dave Parker steps in. 23 is a 12. A 12 is a ground out to first. That's going to be handled over there by Tony Perez. And it's a 3-up, 3-down inning here in the top of the first. So Twitchell doing better than maybe expected. Of course, all those results were off the batter's card, so it doesn't really matter to Twitchell. Here's the Crow, Warren Cromartie. He's facing Bert Bly Levin. 22 is a 7. So now we have to go to our Merino boards. Cromartie against right-handers is a -1. So that's going to bump Bly Levin up to a 14. So we'll look at the Merino boards. Do it just once just to show you. And then I won't be able to do it anymore because it's going to be too cumbersome. But anyway, we look at a 7 right here. I'm sorry, right here. Look at a 7. And the only way you're going to stop a 7 is if we get a 26 or a 27 on the pitcher rating. And in our case, He was only a 14, so that's going to be a base hit. There's no way to stop that, so Cromartie will reach. Now the question is, does Cromartie want to try to steal? Well, he only stole 8 bases all year. He's a D stealer, a D20 according to this, so he's not going to go anywhere, but we do have a man on first. So runner at first, nobody out for Dave Cash. 12 is a 25. We go to our runner on first base check with a 25, and that's a double play, 4-6-3, unless the pitcher has a K, which he does not. So it is a 4-6-3 double play, and just like that, our little guy gets erased. So there's 2 up, or now 2 down rather, for Dawson the Hawk. 36 is a 14. That's a walk. Even with the Z, you got to have double Z with the bases empty to prevent that. So it is a walk for Dawson. Now he is a little bit better at stealing, but both catchers have a +2 rating, which in APBA is very good, or pretty good. It's like in Strat having a -2. You're taking 2 away from the run rating. So have to be careful when you want to try to steal. With Carter coming up, the cleanup man, they're going to go and let Carter swing away. Whoops, let's put our guy back on there. We'll let Carter swing away. We get a 23. 23 is a 12. 12 with the runner on first. 12, runner on first is, well, if he's got a W, it's a walk, which is not the case. Otherwise, it's a ground out. Ground out to first, it looks like. Actually, you know, I didn't do the, one thing I didn't do, I need to do it right now, but I can't pause the video, is get the total for the team. That's one thing I forgot to do, is get their total defense. Let's do that real quick. 10, 13, 14, 16, 22, 29, 33, and Bly 11 is a 235. So a 35, when you're a 35, when you are a 35 as a team, you are fielding column number 3. And that's what Pittsburgh is, fielding column number 3. And Milner and Stargell are big causes of that. So it is a 3-6 ground out, fielder's choice. But with 2 outs, it makes more sense that Stargell would just step on the bag. So I'm going to overrule that and say he steps on the bag to end the inning. Let's look at Montreal. We got 8, 10, 17, 20, 22, 26, 34, and Twitchell is a 130. So they're both fielding column 3. They're both not very good fielders, according to this. According to what I'm looking at here, Garrett and Perez are not very good. So maybe that's part of it. But they're both fielding column 3. And so we could have some troubles in the field. Right now, we go to second, no score. And it will be, I'll just leave the cards down here. Maybe that's easier than trying to hold them up in front of the camera. Maybe that's a better way to do it. Shall see. Or maybe I can put them up here. Well, it's easier to see it this way. That may be too confusing. I'm still working on what I want to do with this. Okay, so we're going to just put Milner right here. How about that? Can you see Milner okay on there? I think you can. I think you can see his card okay. All right, here's Milner. It's a 12. That's a 25. 25 is a 4-3 ground out unless the pitcher has an X. Twitchell does not have the X. So it is a 4-3 ground out, out number 1. And down goes Milner. Here comes Pops, Willie Stargell. Stargell, 61, and that's a 14. That will be a base on balls. So a walk puts Stargell aboard. And that will bring up Rennie Stennett. And Stargell, of course, not going anywhere. So Stennett. 34 for Stennett is a 31. And with the runner on first, the 31 is a fly out to center field. And that's out number 2. As Stargell goes back to first. 2 down for Ed Ott, catcher. 46. 46 is a 29. 29. If his pitcher has a Y, it's a strikeout. Twitchell does have the Y, so it will be a strikeout. Would have been a ground out, but instead it's a strikeout to end the inning since he does have that Y quality. So that's it for the Buccos here in the top of the second. Bottom of the second we go. Ellis Valentine, right fielder, to lead things off against Bly 11. 65, that's a 35, and with the bases empty, 35 is a foul out to the catcher. So Valentine fouls out to Ott, 1 away. brings up Tony Perez. Tony Perez, 54, 32. 32 is a fly to right. That's out number 2. Perez is out. 2 down for Wayne Garrett. 22 for Garrett is a 7, and that's going to be a base hit because we've already seen to stop a 7, you got to have a 25 or a 26. So 2-out single for Wayne Garrett. He's aboard. He's up Chris Spire, the shortstop. We go to runner on first chart. 62. 62 is a 13. That's a strikeout no matter what the base situation is. And the inning is over. So 2 innings in the books. And we got nothing. As both pitchers doing pretty well so far. It's still early, obviously. All right, so Phil Garner is going to lead things off for the Pirates. Scrap iron. 36. It's a 33, and that 33 is a pop out to second. But if the pitcher has a Y, if the pitcher has a Y, it's a strikeout, and Twitchell does. So that's 1 away. So Garner is out of there. Now we've got Blyleven, so let's bring him on. He is now stepping up to the plate to hit. No DH, of course, in National League. Blyleven, 56 is a 34. That's going to be a pop out to short, but if the pitcher has a Y, it's a strikeout, so Twitchell will get another one. So that's 3 strikeouts in a row for Twitchell because he had the Y quality. And that's going to bring up the leadoff man, Frank Taveras. 36 for Taveras is a 33. Same thing, pop up to second, but a Y is a strikeout. So Twitchell has struck out the side, and 4 in a row, going back to last inning. And we go to the bottom of the third, no score, here in Olympic Stadium. All right, so now leading off for the Expos will be the pitcher, Wayne Twitchell. 26 is a 13, that's a strikeout. So Twitchell out of there. Starting things off with a K. That will bring up the Crow, Warren Cromartie. 15, that's an 8. Now this could be interesting. 8, he's a -1, of course. So Blyleven was a 13, he becomes a 14. Now the 14 might stop the 8. Let's take a look here. 8, 14, yes it does. I will show it. We will show it this time since it was effective. The 8 is right here. Scroll across, and we're looking for a 14. And a 14 cross-referencing with the 8 means that's a 30. So instead of using the 8 result, which is a single, we're going to use the number 30 result, which down here, a 30, get the glare off, a 30 is a fly out to left. If you get the K, it'd be a strikeout, but I don't think you do the strikeouts when you do the secondary roll like that, so it's just a fly to left, and there's 2 away. So even if Blyleven had the K, he wouldn't get a strikeout because it did not come on the original roll, it came on a pitcher factor roll. So useless knowledge there, I guess. 35. 35 is a 36. 36 bases empty is a ball unless the pitcher has a W. Blyleven does not. Twitchell does, but Blyleven doesn't. What's ball 1? 66. That's a 0 for Cash, so he's going to get a hit. He'll be money on this play. 22. 22 is a 2. That's a triple. So a triple for Dave Cash. 2-out triple, but nonetheless, it's a triple. So the first real threat of the game right here. Runner at third, 2 outs for the Hawk, Andre Dawson. And Blyleven trying to settle in here. 62 is a 13. He sure did. It's a strikeout. And that's going to end the inning. So nothing doing. They had the triple, but it went for naught. And at the end of 3 complete, it is no score here in Montreal. So Moreno is going to lead things off. Grounded to second his first trip. 22, that's a good sign. That's an 8. Now let's look at Twitchell. Twitchell's only a 4, so he's not going to be able to stop anything. Moreno is a +4 against right-handers. He's a -11 against lefties. So if Twitchell was a lefty, he would jump from a 4 to a 15 and probably stop this. But with a +4, and he is a 4, it basically makes him a 0. But for our purposes, we just know it's a base hit from Moreno. Now Moreno is going to be looking to try to steal Carter arm or no Carter arm. So let's look and see what our factors are for stealing. He is a B29. Well, we know he can steal. There is a chart that says B stealers can steal second, down by 1, tied, or yeah. So he's good to try to steal either way. His number, stolen the base number is. Let's show this card a little bit better here. Get the glare off. His steal number is 29. Carter is a +2, which means we're going to subtract 2 from this 29, make it a 27. Then you have to figure in Twitchell. And Twitchell, his move factor is a +1, which is going to subtract another number from Moreno. So Moreno has a -3 against him. To go with that 29 makes it a 26. And there is a steal change table. So if we look at 26, look at the number with 26. 26 is right here. So that means we need a 52 or less, and he will be successful. So if we roll a 52 or less, Moreno will steal. It's a 62. He's caught stealing. So how about that? Gary Carter says, "Don't steal on me, buddy." And I forgot to put my little man out there. Sorry, but he's caught stealing, so he's done. So that'll bring up Parker. Parker is up. Leadoff man has been erased. 62 is a 13. Parker is out of there. Cobra could not strike. 2 up, 2 down now after that caught stealing. Milner, 64 is a 13. He's out of there. So Twitchell racking up the strikeouts. We go to the bottom of the 4th, still no score. Here from Olympic Stadium. Here's Gary Carter. 12 is a 25. And a 25 with the bases empty is a 4-3 ground out unless the pitcher has an X. Blyleven has the X, so it will be a strikeout. Strikeout of Gary Carter, 1 away. That will bring up Ellis Valentine. 16 is a 28. 28 is a grounder to short. If he had a K, it'd be a strikeout, but there's no K there. It's just a 6-3 ground out. And that'll bring up tough Tony Perez. 43, 29. 29 is a ground out to the pitcher, but if he has an X, it's a strikeout. So Blyleven with the K. And after 4 complete, we have no score. So we go to the 5th. I guess we do technically have a score. It's 0-0. So you always wonder why they say no score, because there is a score. It's just 0-0. All right, here's Stargell. 22. 22 is a 0, so Stargell's going to do something. See if he can pop one. 63 is a 6. A 6 is a double. You're not going to stop that, Mr. Twitchell. So it's a leadoff double for Pops. Leadoff man's at second. Brings up Rennie Stennett. Stennett. Nobody out. First real threat of the game, other than that 2-out triple. 15 is an 8. So this could be interesting. He's a -1, but Twitchell's only a 4. It makes him a 5, so he's not going to stop that. So an 8 is going to be a single. Runner scores. Slow runner out at slow runner is out. Now Stargell is a slow runner, so he is out. So how about that? It's a single, but he's out at the plate. On that 8, batter does go to second, so Stennett takes second. It's a single with Stennett going to second on the throw, but Stargell is out. And let's see, where did the throw go? Does it say? Doesn't say. I'm just going to, it doesn't really matter at this point. I'll just call it 8-2. I'm sure there's a way, a finder or something to figure out where the ball went, but I don't have time for that right now. So here's Ed Ott. And again, now this is Stennett at second, another slow runner. Surprised, I thought he'd be pretty fast. They consider him slow. Here's Ott, 56, 13, struck him out. Another strikeout for Mr. Twitchell. Now that brings up Scrap Iron. Now, first base is open if they want to walk Garner and pitch to Blyleven. I think they're going to do it. It's an intentional walk to Garner. And they'll take their chances with Blyleven. So Blyleven is up with 2 on and 2 out. 55 though, might have been a bad mistake. 55 is a 9. And let's see, he's a -2 against righties. That makes Twitchell a 6. So we'll go to the first and second chart. A 9 and a 6. No stopping that. That's a base hit. That's a base hit. It's going to fill the bases. They do not score, not even with 2 outs. It says fills the bases. So there you go. A base hit for Blyleven. Bases are now loaded with 2 outs. And it's going to all be up to Frank Tavares to try to get the runner home. As Twitchell going to have to bear down here. Facing Tavares. Whoa, that's not a good bear down. 66, that's a 0, so something's going to happen. 12 is a 7, that's a base hit. Let's go to the bases loaded chart. A 7. Single. Runner score. Batter to second on throw. Oh, I'm sorry, I was looking at second and third. Let me look at bases loaded here. Single, 2 scores. Other to second. Fast. If he's fast, he goes to third. Well, Blyleven's not fast, so he'll stop at second. So it's a 2-run single for Frank Tavares. It will score Stennett and Garner. 2-run single. It will move Blyleven to second base. So runners are at first and second with 2 outs. All this happening with 2 outs. And that will bring up Moreno. $13 is a 14, and that's going to be a walk to load the bases. So we're back to bases loaded again. Bases are now loaded again. For the Cobra, Dave Parker. And you wonder if they're going to let Twitchell pitch to the Cobra. His fatigue is 24. Right now he's faced 20 batters. If you look in the bullpen, the Expos, I know it's early, it's only the 5th. They do have lefty Daryl Knowles in the bullpen. They also have a lefty Dan Schatzeder in the bullpen for long relief. Let's see how they're going to, you know what, they're going to go with Daryl Knowles. They're going to make the move because this is a critical situation that can blow the game open. So they're going to use Daryl Knowles in relief. So if we look at Daryl Knowles, and we know he's set to bat third next inning, so they just want to get him to get, they just want him to get this out. They want him to get out of this inning. So Knowles, he is a 16 though, as opposed to the 4. So if it's a lefty-righty thing, he'll definitely be in better shape to stop that. So bases loaded. We'll go to our bases loaded chart. And Daryl Knowles is in to face Parker. Bases loaded, 2 outs. 2 in. 34. 34 is a 31. 31, fly to center. That's going to end the inning. So really it turned out they didn't need to make that pitching change, but you don't know that going in. So they were playing to keep the game close, which is what they did. So Knowles will be coming out for a pinch hitter, obviously, as it's his turn to bat third. So the Pirates lead at 2-0. Wayne Garrett. Let's clear the bases. Wayne Garrett will be coming on to face Blyleven. Back to the bases empty. 36. 36 is a 33. And a 33 with the bases empty is a pop out to second. You have to have a Y for a strikeout, and he only has the X, not a Y. So 1 away, and that'll bring up Chris Spire. So Chris Spire steps up. 51. 51's a 9. Against right-handers, though, he's a -4, so that's going to increase Blyleven to a 17. Can a 17 stop a 9? It cannot. An 18 could have, but not a 17, so that's going to be a base hit for Spire. So Spire singles. Runners aboard, and now we need a pinch hitter. And the pinch hitter is going to be Del Unser. So Del Unser is going to come in to pinch hit for the Expos with the man on. and 1 out. Dale Unser. And in the bullpen, new pitcher is going to be the lefty, Dan Schatzeder. He's going to be coming in because the Pirates have some lefties coming up. Right now, here's Unser, 31. It's a 14. And let's see, Blyleven does have a Z, so that's a 2-ball count. There's 2 balls on Unser. 15 is a 9. Unser's no change against the righties. So 15 is a 9. That means Blyleven's a 13. So a 9 and a 13 with the runner at first. 13 does not stop it. A 12 does, but not a 13. So it's a single, runner to second. So how about that? Unser comes through with a pinch hit single. Let's put runners at first and second. First and second. With 1 out. Top of the order, and Cromartie. 15 is an 8. Cromartie's a -1, so that makes him a 14. Go to runners at first and second chart. And compare a 14 to an 8. And a 14 will stop the 8. 14 turns the 8 to a 31, which is a fly to center. If it's a fast run on second, he will go to third. But Speyer's not fast, so it's just going to be a fly to center. 4 out, number 2. So 2 down. It'll be up to Dave Cash. See if he can cash in. Try to get the Expos on the board. 26, 24. 24. Double play, but you don't really need that. It's already 2 outs, so we're just going to go with the first half of that, which is a 4-6 fielder's choice. Would have been a 4-6-3, obviously, but it's a 4-6 fielder's choice to end the inning. So 5 innings are in the books. It is the Pirates 2 and the Expos nothing. And new pitcher for the Expos will be the aforementioned Dan Schatzeder. He is a 14 right there on his little symbol there, master symbol, the 14 with a W. So a 14 and a W for Schatzeder. But he is a lefty, which is important because the Pirates are bringing up a couple lefties, starting with John Milner. And if we get to those results that require lefty-righty splits, that will give him the advantage. Milner, 51, is a 9. That's one of those results. But Milner is actually a 0 against lefties and a -2 against righties, so he actually did better against lefties, or no change. So we keep with Schatzeder. He is a 14, 14 and a 9. So can a 14 alter a 9? It cannot. It's a base hit. So Milner gets that base hit to lead off the top of the 6th. Brings up another lefty, Willie Stargell. Big pops. 35. 35 is another 9, but pops is a -10 against lefties. So that's going to change Schatzeder from a 14 to a 24, which is almost guaranteed to stop it. So a 24 and a 9. 24 changes a 9 to a 34, which is a pop out to short. So that's 1 away. So Stargell definitely not very good against the lefties. Now here's Rennie Stennett. That's why you brought the lefty in there. 45 and APBA basic lefty-righty is no bearing. 45 is a 14. 14 is going to be a walk because he not only does not have a Z, he's actually got a W. So that's going to put 2 on with only 1 out. And it's going to bring up the dangerous Dave Parker, although it will be a lefty-lefty matchup. I'm sorry, it's going to be Ed Ott. I was looking at the wrong part of the lineup. My bad. But it's still going to be a lefty-lefty matchup with Ed Ott. So 14 is a 30. We know that's a fly to left almost universally in APBA. I think with any base situations, it's still the same, and it is fly to left. So there's 2 down. Just like 13s are strikeouts, 14s are flies to left. Or 30s, I'm sorry. 14 on the result gives you a 30, which is a fly to left. So. All right. Here's Scrap Iron Garner. 51 is a 9. Garner is a -1 against lefties. Makes him a 15. Will a 15 stop a 9? 15 to a 9. It does not stop a 9. It's a single, but it's only going to fill the bases. So the runners will not score. It's the bases are loaded now for the pitcher, Blyleven, but last time Blyleven got a hit, so can't necessarily discount that. So Blyleven coming up to hit. Bases juiced. 25 is a 23. 23 with the infield back. This is interesting. Look at this. I will show this because it's kind of interesting. There's two results on this, and we did get, like I said, a 25, which is a 23. 23 shows, because they're fielding column 3, 23 shows if you're playing in, it's a hit by pitch, batter to first, an HBO 0 pitcher would be a strike. If you're playing back, which is deep, so that'd be foul strike, catcher ejected for disputing foul tip. So Gary Carter just got ejected for disputing that foul tip. So Blyleven's still at bat, but Gary Carter has just been ejected from the game. So we will have to get another catcher in there for the Expos. And their backup catcher on their roster is the very little known Bob Reese. Only played 9 games, but he is the backup. So Carter, who played 157 games, so he didn't get a whole lot of time off, but he will here because of the ejection. So he is gone, and Mr. Reese is in. So Reese, we'll write him in Carter's spot. Reese. And let's see, his defensive rating, he's a 5, whereas Carter was a 7. His TH is a -4, means he's really bad. No trouble, no worry about stealing one way or the other. But yeah, that definitely is a defensive, a glaring defensive weakness there. But umpire rang him up, so there you go. So Carter should have not said anything, but he did. 1 strike on Blyleven. 25, 25. We're back to the same result of 23. Well, I'm not having the catcher get 2 catchers get ejected in a row, so we're going to just override that. 66 is a 6. How do you like that? Blyleven doing a number on it. The Expo pitching on his own with a 6. Bases full. A 6 is a triple. Triple is not a second column result. It's first column result. So the triple will stand. The bases are cleared. So Bert B. Home Blyleven wants the fans here tonight to be home Blyleven by 11 so that they can rest easy, because now it is a 5-0 ball game on a triple by Bert Blyleven. And I was just on his card because he got one, so, or a double. Sometimes you get a double on that, depends. So here's Frank Tavares. 51 for Tavares is an 8, and he is a +4 against lefties. So that's going to make him shots there down to a 10. And I don't think a 10 is going to stop an 8 with a runner at third, but we will double check it, but I don't think it will. Runner at third and a 10 to an 8. 10 will not stop an 8. A 14 would have, but because of that +4, it makes him a 10. That's a base hit. So that's going to score another run. Base hit by Tavares. And the Pirates piling it on now. 4 runs. It's now 6-0. They are making the Expos walk the plank here, particularly Dan Schatzeder. He's taking one for the team. Here's Moreno. 45 is a 14, and that's a walk. So that'll put 2 runners on now, and now the 9th man to bat in the inning. And there's always some controversy about when you bat around, and I believe it was Vin Scully, I'm not sure who, I think it was him, that said you don't bat around until a batter bats for the second time in the same inning. So batting around to him and to me also means that someone who led off the game is batting again. So to me, the 9th batter is not batting around, but I'm not going to, argue with anybody about it. Everybody's got their philosophies, but I think batting around means that, in this case, John Milner, who led off the inning, would bat again. Just a side note. There's really nothing to argue about. 24-13, Parker struck out, no argument there. He's out on strikes. So we don't get to quote-unquote bat around, but they do send up, or score 4 runs rather. It is 6-0 as we go to the bottom of the 6th. So sorry couldn't get a closer game for you. You never know. Maybe the Expos can come back against Blyleven. You never know, but probably not likely. Just a thought. You know, Manic Mondays can be. Here's Dawson, 55. That's a good start. It's an 8. But then again, he's a -1. So that makes Blyleven a 14. Can he stop an 8 with a 14? He certainly can. That makes it a 30, which is a fly to left. So Dawson is out of there. Let's move this over so you can see the score sheet maybe a little bit better. Dawson is out of there. 1 away. Brings up Mr. Bob Reese. Took over for, and look at that, he gets a 55. That's an 8. He's a -5. So that makes Blyleven a 18. 18 will turn the 8 into a 31, which is a fly to center. So there's 2 down. Reese is gone, and that brings up Mr. Valentine. 14, we know that's a 30 by default. By APBA, that is a fly to left. So 3 up, 3 down. And now you wonder, are they going to let Schatzeder continue? I think we're going to go ahead and pull Schatzeder. And they're going to bring in Bill Atkinson. Bill Atkinson, a right-hander. Atkinson, in his pitching prowess, he is a 6. And he's got a Y and a W. All right, so Atkinson is in, and he'll be facing John Milner. And remember, Milner actually hits better against lefties than he does righties, so maybe some knowledge there. 25 is an 8. -2 against the right-handers makes him an 8. An 8 to an 8 does not stop that, though. It's a base hit. So Milner leads off with the base hit, and the lumber company is lumbering against the Expos. Here is Stargell. Pops. 63 is a 13, struck him out. First time strikeout for Stargell. 1 away, brings up Stennett. 46 of 29. Runner at first, 29. Let's see here. Does he have a Y? Yes, he does. Y is a strikeout. So Atkinson picks up the strikeout since he did have that Y quality. So 2 down for Ed Ott. 45. 45 is 14. That will be a walk. That'll put 2 on with 2 outs. The third baseman, Scrap Iron Garner. So Scrap Iron steps in. 43. 43 is a 29. Runners at first and second, a 29. And let's see what a 29 does. That's a ground out to the pitcher, 1-3 to end the inning. So that's going to end the inning. Nothing across there. 7th inning stretch time here in Montreal. It is the Pirates comfortably in front, 6-0. Blyleven, fatigue, he can face 29 batters. So far, he has faced 23, so still okay. Here is Perez to lead off. 65 to 35. We know that's a foul to the catcher with the bases empty. Another one of those ones in APBA you kind of remember when it comes up. Here's Wayne Garrett. 12 is a 25. 25 with the bases empty is a 4-3 groundout unless the pitcher has an X, which he does. So Blyleven gets the K because of that X feature. He is X-rated. Blyleven is, so don't let any female reporters in the locker room because he is X-rated. Here's Spire. 14, we know that's universally a 30 again, which is universally a fly to left. And that's the end of the inning. So 7 innings in the books, 6-0 Pirates. comfortably in front. Atkinson will go a second inning of work. Actually he's going to be facing Blyleven. But you wonder if they might go ahead and pull Blyleven, although he is pitching a shutout. You'd hate to do that. So they're going to. Why would you pull him? Like you say, he's got a single and a triple, so I guess it would be dumb to pull him, wouldn't it? Just let him hit. See what he can do. 32, 26, and that's a 4-3 ground out. So finally put the kibosh on Blyleven. Struck him out the first time, but he did damage the last 2 times before this. And I just lost my folder as that fell back behind this table. So I'm going to grab this, put that back where it needs to be. All right, Tavares, the batter, 62 is a 13, struck him out. So Atkinson pitching well, getting ready to go 2 shutout innings, which in this game for the Expos is a minor miracle. Moreno, 12 is a 25. That is a 4-3 ground out, but if it's an X, it's a strikeout. He does not have the X, so it's just a 4-3. Easy put out. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Still 6-0. Favor of the Pirates. All right, so, oops, I don't know why I have Unser still in there. He was the pinch hitter from before. So now we got the pitcher spot to lead off. So Atkinson is done. And we need a pinch hitter, and it's going to be... Do they have any switch hitters or lefties? Let's see. Do they or do they not? Jerry White. It looks like it's going to be Jerry White. He's a switch hitter. So Jerry White, they don't have any more lefties, but they do have a switch hitter in Jerry White. So Jerry White is going to pinch hit. Kind of sloppy, but that's all right. I'm going for, expediency here, not for necessarily neatness. All right, here's Jerry White. 53 for White is a 17. Don't get many 17s. 17 with the bases empty is a single. Takes second on the error by the right fielder in that fielding column 3 result. But if the right fielder is anything other than a 3, it could be different. Now, this is where you go to individual. Again, this is where the Merino boards come in. With this shaded area, we look at the rating of the individual player, not the team. Even though the team's fielding 3, we look at the right fielder. Right fielder is Parker. Parker is a 3. And in the outfield world, that means he's fielding column number 1. So instead of a single with the runner taking second on an error, it's a fly out to right field. So Parker not only didn't make the error, he prevented the base hit. So Parker, with that good defense, took the whole thing away. It's kind of nice spin for the Expos. Here's Cromartie. 25 is an 8. Cromartie, -1 against righties, makes him a 14. 14 against the 8 is a 30, and that's a fly to left. So Blyleven able to stop that. 2 down, and it's up to Dave Cash. Keep it going. 15 is a 10. 10 is I think it might be a base hit. Let's see. Cash is a -3, though. Against right-handers, makes Blyleven a 16. Can a 16 stop a 10? It certainly can. Changes it to a 33, which is a pop out to second. So it's going to end the inning. Now it says Y for a strikeout, but Blyleven is X, plus you don't get strikeouts when you do this secondary check. So simply a pop to second, but Blyleven will take it. 8 shutout innings by the Dutchman. And now we go to the top of the 9th. We need a new pitcher for the Expos. And it's not Christmas time yet, but the Expos are going to get a Garmin. So it's Mike Garmin will be coming in. And Garmin, his rating is a 7 on his master ratings. He's a 7, so Garmin. He's a 7 with and no other qualities, just a 7. All right, he's going to be facing Parker, Milner, and Stargell. 65 is a foul out to the catcher. Again, some of these results are kind of memorize them after a while. So he's out of there. Haven't had anybody on base for a couple of innings, so my guys over here are getting restless. Here's Milner, 36, 14. Restless no more. They get a walk. So a 1-out walk to Milner. We'll bring up Mr. Pops Stargell. Not that the Pirates need more runs. They're already up 6-0. 56 is a 13. Pops strikes out for the second time. 2 down. And that'll bring up Rennie Stennett. Stennett, 16 is a 28. Runner at first, 28. And that is, we're checking the shortstop in this case, and that is Spire. He's an 8, which means he is a fielding column 2. And it's the same as fielding column 3, which is a 6-3 ground out runner to second, but that's the 3rd out anyway, so it doesn't matter. So we go to the 9th. Bottom of the 9th we go. Blyleven going for the shutout. And we'll be facing Dawson Reese and Valentine. But I think we'll pinch hit for Reese because they know there's no way they're going to go to extra innings. So they may as well get a better hitter in there. So they're going to have Larry Parrish pinch hit. So it's going to be Dawson, Parrish, and Valentine. And if it does go extra innings, perish the thought if Larry Parrish needs to catch. Of course, he came into the league, I believe, as a catcher. I'm not certain on that, but I'm thinking he broke in as a catcher and converted to third. But you know, I'm not 100% sure on that, so don't quote me on it. But anyway, Blyleven facing Dawson here in the bottom of the 9th. 12 is a 25, and a 25 with the bases empty is a 4-3 ground out, but with an X, it's a strikeout. So you get the strikeout on Dawson, 1 away. And now here's Parrish, the pinch hitter. Like I said, I guess he was just getting the day off. And that's why Wayne Garrett was starting the game. Parrish, 14, is that ever so familiar fly to left because of the 30 result. So last chance, it's Ellis, Valentine, and Blyleven going for the complete game shutout. Now he has faced 31 batters, so we're kind of pushing it here since his fatigue is 29. 56 is a 40, and that's a foul ball. So Valentine. But I believe you get, I didn't look this up, but I know I've seen Earl do it a couple times. I believe when you pitch a shutout, you get some boost. I know you get some boost on your numbers here, but I think you get something with fatigue as well. I'm not an APBA expert by any means, so I don't know. 64 is 13, struck him out. I'm an expert on 13 to know it's a strikeout. And the ball game is over. So the Pirates win it 6-0 in the real game. How about this, folks? I just noticed this. Didn't even catch this. In the actual, let's take it off the clipboard so you can see it better. In the actual game, the Pirates won 6-0. So how about that? We'll do the runs and hits, the hits for both teams and see how that factors in. But let's just see how close we came here. All right, let's check the hits for the Pirates. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hits, so not only 1 away from that. So instead of being 6-9-0, it was 6-10-0. Pretty close there, eh? All right, now let's look at the expos. Hits 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits. Can't write. 5 and 0. I don't think there were any errors in this game. So look at this, folks. This is really interesting. The real game, the line was 6-9-0 for the Pirates, 0-3-0 for the Expos. In the replay here on APBA, it is 6-10-0 for the Pirates, 0-5-0 for the Expos. You don't see that happen very often where you get that result. And I'm assuming, I didn't look it up on Retro Sheet to get the actual box score or anything, but I'm assuming Blyleven may have pitched a shutout in this game as well. 6-0 final. Blyleven the winner. Losing pitcher, unfortunately for him, was Wayne Twitchell. Of course, there was some big hittings here in that 6th inning, 4 runs with a bunch of singles and walks. And how about Blyleven? Player of the game, not only did he pitch a shutout, but he went 2 for 4 with a triple and a couple of RBIs. That's just amazing. He had a bases loaded triple here, and he had a single here? No, he didn't bring any runs in here, I don't think. No, that loaded the bases. So it was 2 for 3 with a triple and 3 RBIs. Not only that, but pitching a shutout. Let's see what he did for walks and strikeouts, just for kicks and giggles. He walked 1 here, struck out 1, walked 1, struck out 2, 3 strikeouts, 4 strikeouts, 5 strikeouts. 5 strikeouts and 1 walk, 6 strikeouts and 1 walk. 7 strikeouts. So he had walked 1, struck out 7. So a masterful performance by the Dutchman, Bert Beholm Bly-Levin. So there you go, folks. That is the second game in the Manic Monday. And it was the Expos falling prey to Bert Bly-Levin and the Pirates. 6-0. There's your man of the hour, Bert Beholm Bly-Levin. 14-10 with a 3.03 ERA, but in this game he was masterful. So next game, of course, the following Monday will be Memorial Day, so we will head to the Great Northwest to see the Baltimore Orioles take on the Seattle Pilots. And that'll be another game that I'll record probably on the next Saturday, and we'll do a premiere. I'll go ahead, even though most people are off that day, so it's not really a true lunchtime thing. I think I'll still do it around noon, and just let it go from there. But that's it from here. Second game in the books for I first was going to call it Monday Mania, but I decided to switch it to Manic Monday. So 2 games down and a whole lot to go. But next game, Baltimore and Seattle with payoff pitch. So we start with Status Pro, we go to APBA, then we go to payoff pitch, then we go to replay, then we go to History Maker, then we go to inside pitch, and then action PC, and then we go back to Status Pro. So we're talking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's a 7-game rotation. 7 different games, 6 on the board with card and dice, or on the board. It might not necessarily be dice because Status Pro doesn't use dice. But 6 board games and 1 PC game. All right, that's going to do it from here. Hope everybody had a nice time chatting and whatnot. And sorry I couldn't give you a closer game, but hopefully you all had a good chance to socialize and do that normal thing you do on Mondays around lunchtime. And of course tomorrow we'll be ready for Uncle Ron and his Tuesday 1982 Action PC broadcast. So I'm happy to be able to fill in on Mondays when he's unavailable to stream and kind of fill that gap. So I may or may not be able to record. I'm thinking about recording a game tomorrow in the White Sox replay to broadcast on Sunday, which would be yesterday as you're watching this. But if I don't, then I'll let it go on Tuesday, maybe in the afternoon, or I'm sorry, in the evening or sometime or another, just as a regular recording instead of a stream. But I haven't forgot about the White Sox. They're certainly in my line of sight, but I wanted to make sure I got this game done before I did anything else so that Manic Monday would not have a glitch. So, till next time, keep rolling them. Enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road.